You know, when we travel across the world, there's a quiet question that often comes up. A question that many of us, well, we never really pause long enough to even notice.
It's a question that's hiding in plain sight, woven into the very fabric of how we get from one place to another.
Think about it. Most people just move from place to place without really thinking about the patterns. We book flights, follow the routes, make our connections. We see these paths drawn across maps and we just accept them. Now, some of those paths feel perfectly simple, don't they? They're straightforward, exactly what you'd expect. But then, others follow shapes that seem a lot less direct, a bit less intuitive, maybe even less aligned with what many of us learned back in school. So let's slow down for just a moment and look at one of those quiet questions. This one is all about what happens when you study travel across the southern regions of the world. Because when you do, something pretty interesting appears. What you start to see is that some of the routes curve in ways that feel a little unusual. Some of the paths seem to stretch much farther than you might expect. And some of the connections, well, they seem to bend around places that, on a traditional globe, would actually appear to be much closer. You expect direct routes and short connections, paths that line up with a globe. But what you often see are these long, sweeping arcs and connections that just feel out of the way.
And all of that raises a really simple thought. If the world truly matches the shape you were taught, why is it that certain southern routes behave in this way?
Why do flights that feel like they should be short end up taking these long, sweeping arcs across the map? And why do some of these paths cross over areas that really seem to be completely out of the way?
And maybe most importantly, why do these patterns repeat over and over again?
This is where a question can really open a door. It can stir up your curiosity and maybe reveal something that was always there, just waiting to be seen. Now, the intention here isn't to argue and it's not to push a certain viewpoint. It's simply to invite a closer look.
In fact, this book, Flat Earth Uncovered: 100 Questions That Challenge the Round Earth, is all about bringing gentle attention to questions just like this. This book encourages you to notice these things, to look again, and to ask if the map that you have in your mind really matches the movement you see in the real world. It's not about forcing a conclusion. It's really about encouraging honest reflection and starting a journey of curiosity. Because when a pattern repeats itself, it probably deserves some attention. And when a path bends in a surprising way, it invites a question. And when that question lingers, well, it often leads to a much deeper understanding. This book approaches all of these ideas with a steady clarity. Each question is presented with a calm intention and with respect for the reader's ability to think, observe, and consider for themselves. And the Southern question is just one of many. It's one of 100, and each one is designed to help you pause, reflect, and look again at the world around you. And that's because sometimes the most meaningful discoveries begin with just a simple moment of curiosity. That moment when you just say to yourself, I want to understand this more clearly. This book is here to support that journey. It encourages that kind of thoughtful exploration and invites you to examine the patterns that so often go unnoticed. Because sometimes simply noticing is the very first step toward finding real clarity. This book is available right now on Amazon. You can find it by searching for the title, Flat Earth Uncovered: 100 Questions That Challenge the Round Earth, written by Sue West.
Every truth begins with a question, and every question deserves your own eyes. If you are ready to look closer, the book is waiting. Search Flat Earth Uncovered and start your journey. Click the link to get your copy of Flat Earth Uncovered: 100 Questions That Challenge the Round Earth by Sue B. West.